Tanchikiwa, hello, how are you all? Welcome to Homelands, originally broadcast on CFCR Community Radio 90.5 FM in Saskatoon, Homelands of the Métis and Treaty 6 Territory, CFCR.ca. This is your favorite Auntie, Andrea Letting Dushni Kashun. My name is Andrea Letting. Call me Auntie Andy if you like. And I'll be your host over this next half hour. I am part settler, part relative, and 100% ally in relation to everyone. I'm just me. I'm not a card-carrying member of any Indigenous nation, but I am loved, adopted, related to, and accepted by many, rejected by a few. Haters gonna hate, relators gonna relate. I am blessed to have Indigenous relations in my family and secretly may love them a little bit more than all the rest, only because they're the first peoples of this land who welcome all the guests. But I'm also of Irish and Scandinavian descent, along with a little bit of mystery. And that's the way I was raised, strongly decolonial and justice-oriented, with a big related heart for all. I most empathized with my Batoche Métis friends and family and that history and culture growing up. And as an adult, have continued to try to live that meal permits win that beautiful good life. So from the fringes of the sash, I situate myself as a relative and an ally and welcome you, my listeners, as brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins in the homeland. So let's welcome our relative tonight. So we have with us again, Randy Morin, who has come before and told us a few stories last year, and you can look up that episode on our YouTube channel. As you may know, Randy is well known as a storyteller. He's an author. He's an assistant professor. He hails from Big River First Nation. He's fluent in Cree and just an all-around good guy. So he's just going to come and visit with us for this next half hour. So thank you so much for joining us, Randy. Good to see you.
Well, thank you so much, Nito Tim. Hi, for inviting me. I come to you live from my house in Saskatoon here. Yeah, it's been an amazing holiday season for me. I got to travel a little bit. I took a road trip with my friend to stateside. We went to Vegas. We did a little bit of golfing there. Then we took off to Los Angeles. We went to the beaches there and did some golfing in Los Angeles. And then we took off to San Francisco, did some golfing in San Francisco and in Seattle. And it was an amazing holiday season for me. So yeah, I'm glad to be back to work. I start teaching tomorrow online. It's been almost 2 years of teaching online for me. I teach at the University of Saskatchewan. I'm also a father of 3, a little boy named Kisik, my little girl. Well, he's not so little no more. He's like taller than me, but I still call him my little boy. My little daughter, Kisei, sweetheart, and my oldest daughter, her name is Justice. So yeah, so it's an honor to be here, Andrea, and I'm here to just share with you what I know. So it's an honor to be here.
It's so great to have you, and I love listening to your stories. And yeah, you're telling me before we started just a few things and about your travels and that kind of thing. So I don't know, where would you like to start? What would you like to tell us about?
Well, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about just really in a brief synopsis how I got to be where I am today, really quickly, as quickly as I can. It really started in my early days living on the reserve. I did a lot of hard work growing up. Like my dad instilled in me to work hard, and so even when I was in school, like middle years, high school, I was working a lot. Like labor work, because that really all was available on the reserve. And so I planted trees for many years. I did a lot of work out in the forest, and that's where my journey really started. Was the power of the mind is how I discovered it. I was one day in the middle of the bush, surrounded by bears and cougars and Bigfoot and everything, and I'm just like hundreds of kilometers away from anybody, and I'm there like 18 years old, right after high school, and I'm looking at this airplane fly by, and I'm just like, wow, what would it be like to fly in an airplane, And I actually visualized myself in that airplane. And little did I know at that time that the visualization was like just the start of this transformation in my life. And so I use visualization now in my daily life. It has taken me literally around the world. It has like just elevated me to such beautiful places. It's the power of your thinking. I I don't know how I discovered it, but your thoughts are absolutely powerful. You actually create energy when you think about stuff. So I started to realize, man, visualization and pretending you already have it and the feeling of already having it was just, it's now like that is the method that all the world leaders use today. And so I was able to quit drinking 20 years ago. This is 2022. So I quit drinking 20 years ago. I was never really into drugs or anything, but with the green stuff, I quit that 25 years ago. Yeah, everybody was doing it back in the day, but it's even more so now that it's legal. But going back to the school, I got 3 university degrees. It's just stuff. Being a homeowner, own 3 houses, in terms of the material aspect of it all, like I'm pretty content. I'm pretty happy with my life, where it's taken me. But again, it really stems from growing up. And the other thing too was my grandma. My grandma, she was, we buried her 2 years ago. She was 107, 107 years old. And man, she raised me, she pretty much raised me in my younger years, spoke only Cree to me, and she would always tell me, like, go to the ceremonies, go to the ceremonies, don't give up on the ceremonies, like our ancestors left us those ceremonies. They fought, they died, they were outlawed, like, so don't give up on the ceremonies. And so I started like, at a young age going to ceremony, right? And so because of going to the ceremony, like, I'm not trying to convert anybody here, but it's just it's a beautiful struggle to go to a ceremony. Like last night, we went to a ceremony. It was like minus 30 outside, you know? And so a lot of people that said they were going to come looked outside their window and, it's too cold. I'll just go later. But the ones that made it, like we were blessed, like because of it, like it's just like it's my monthly recharge. It's my monthly, it just it brings everything back to the center. It just helps, and it just you get to leave stuff there that's in your mind and in your heart. If you're grieving, if you're going through stress and all anxiety, anything, you just kind of leave it there. And the energy of the rock and the wood and the fire and the wind, the water, like all those elements, like they help. They really help. And it builds character. Like it builds character, like you gotta, you just try to, embody the teachings of humility, love, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, all those things that come with going to ceremony. And yeah, so that's, my journey has been a beautiful journey. I became an author. In fact, my third book will be out probably in 3 weeks or something. My publisher just sent me the final, and he's like going to start sending it to the printers. It's going to be available across Canada. So I'm happy for that. And we're going to start working on my fourth book with that. And yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been a pretty good journey for me. I've traveled many places around the world and met amazing people, and I've done a lot of absolutely breathtaking adrenaline stuff. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I don't let fear dictate my life. That quote by Will Smith, everything, all the happiness, everything is on the other side of fear. Many times I've stood at cliff's edge, and it's like it's so hard to take that jump, like you want to take that jump, and you just got to take the jump. And I've done the jumps. Like I've done the jumps. It's been amazing, So it's like just doing it, just facing your fears, and not to worry what others think. Just 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 go with the flow. Just live life. And face that happiness, and because everyone deserves happiness. Everyone deserves joy. life shouldn't be about stress and worry and anxiety. And, like you go to work and you come home and that's it. Like, no, you go out there, meet people, say hi to people. I always every day make it, a goal to say hi to a stranger. I every day make it a goal to buy a coffee for a stranger. Like behind me, I'm always pay once a day. Like I'll pay for somebody's coffee, even if they're looking at me mean mugging me. I'll still buy it. So that's how I live my life, is to just try and spread joy and happiness wherever I go. I just try to embody the teachings of those beautiful teachings that all cultures have, like love and generosity and kindness, honesty. So that's kind of like how I got to be here. So now I teach my children. I model roles. Like I'm not a role model, but I just model roles. Like I want, I just live my life. And people kind of message me sometimes. They're like, Randy, you're inspiring me to do, what you're doing, and I'm just living. I'm not doing it for anybody. It's just, just the way I am. And if you hoard knowledge, it's not good to hoard knowledge. You want to share. If it's going to make the world a better place, share it. So if you're on my social media feed, I'm always sharing the beauty of everything I'm doing. I'm not hoarding it, like, oh, this is a beautiful experience. I don't want nobody to know about it. You know, like I share it, just because people will, wow, I want to do that. Like it's like it's just don't care what people think. Most people are scared, to share anything. Like here's an example. Like I once knew this guy. He was a city cleaner. He cleaned the sewages, and he's all like, and we're standing around one day, and I asked him, hey, what do you do? And I clean the sewages. What's the main thing that you clean all the time? And you know what he said? Tissue. Tissue. People flush tissue, and it just completely costs the taxpayers a lot of money. It plugs up the systems. Tissue? I said, tissue? He said, yeah, man, I kind of flush tissue. I had no idea. Like, he said, yeah, it's and I said, you're on social media. Why don't you share that information? He's like, oh, no, no, no. I'm scared what people will think. What? If it's going to save taxpayers money and it's not going to, like, why wouldn't you share it? No, I'm scared, Like, so I guess people, different levels, right? I'm at this level now. I don't give a crap what people think, it's just like, you know, and plus having an open mind, having an open heart to try out new things, like I've traveled all over the world. And, if there's like a spiritual ceremony or something happening there, like with the local people, man, I'm there. I'm not going to go there and be like, hey, what's this? My way's better. No, I am there. I humble myself. I'm opening my mind, my heart, my spirit. I want to know and understand, so that's what I do, and in the process, like I've met a lot of amazing people, and, you know, and it's just the beginning, only good lies before me. Whatever happens, only good lies before me, and that's a motto. Like, like I listen to all these podcasts, and, like I subscribe to all these like world leaders in personal development, in the mind, body, spirit, I listen to them, like, yeah, these are kind of books I read, you know, like like I love reading, like, just read, like I love it, you know, and I'm always listening to podcasts, like I'm always learning, just how I live my life, you know. And so I said, like, I model a role, and I just, yeah, different strokes for different folks, but, I'm happy. I'm going to keep doing what makes me happy. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm also a musician. I'm a golfer. I love golf. I love earthing. I love I love everything that deals with the spiritual. I just love it. There's just so much. I love everything that deals with energy. I love manifesting stuff. I just how I am. So I'm just I don't know. It's a pretty good ride I'm having. So maybe how much time we got there? Maybe I could tell
We
a
got
quick
about like
story.
just under 15 minutes left. So yeah,
Okay.
we're halfway.
So one of the things I'm really honored is I'm a storyteller. I've been telling stories since I could walk. I guess, I still have my old classmates in the elementary school. They're like, Randy, like tell a story, like I got just, all kinds of stories. Like there's always a story, right? Like, and everyone is a storyteller. Like, believe it or not, everyone is a storyteller, but some people, they like, like, I don't know what, I guess I recognize as a storyteller. I don't know if there's a set criteria. I don't know, but, people ask me to tell stories all the time. And there's like so many funny stories, like I've often wondered, I should create a book about like funny stories from the reserve, you know, because growing up, there's so many funny stories that happen to people on a daily basis, like funny stories, like like there's so many funny stories. Like for example, I'll tell you a real like 1 minute story. Like in my reserve, I guess there's this real big car, those old 70s cars, I don't know what they're called, but they're like old, right? And the police stopped it, and yeah, he went to the driver's side. The guy was drinking, right? He was pretty drunk. And so he got arrested, he got put in the back of the police. And out of that car started coming out like, 15 people. 15, Indians start coming on. And one of them was my late buddy. His name was Glenn. And he had this real raggedy old briefcase, and he's like, Officer, what you doing with my client? I'm his lawyer, Yeah, he's trying to, pretend he was a lawyer. And the lawyer, what's your name? And he's like, oh, my name is, he's trying to come up with some sort of, but he couldn't. So he's, my name's Glenn, and he said his last name, the officer. Well, you're under arrest. You're on a warrant. But he got thrown in jail trying to be a lawyer. But, there's this funny stories that happen on the reserve, there's just thousands of them, So I wanted to create a book like that. I also wanted to create a book of like the paranormal, like there's all these paranormal stories that happen on the reserve, like hundreds of them. You have ghost stories, UFOs, lake monster, cryptids, and strange and unexplained. Every reserve has it. So I wanted to do that too, but maybe it's a project for another time. But I guess I'm trying to think of even there's jokes on the reserve, eh? There's funny jokes. Okay. This one, there's so many funny jokes, eh? Like anyway, funny jokes. Let's see. I guess I could tell you a story of my first moose kill. My first moose kill, right? So you know, animals, we call them pisiscoa, they have spirits. And so to kill an animal is not to be taken, lightly. Like it's kind of a serious undertaking, right? To kill an animal, like especially if it's your first animal, it's kind of like, there's these rites of passage that have to happen. And, and I remember I was about 16 years old. And man, dead of winter, like this kind of weather, like -30, -40, my dad came and woke me up. And he said, okay, Angus, it's time. Son, come with me. We're gonna go hunting. Me, you, and his late buddy Norman, which he died like a few months ago. It was his best friend. His name was Norman Bear. And yeah, so I didn't want to go. Like I fought him tooth and nail, my dad, but because I cannot say no to my dad, like the respect, I had to go. And so we're traveling down the highway, and my dad and Norman, they're best friends. They're always laughing and joking. And I'm in the back seat of this truck, and I'm just kind of miserable, it's like maybe like 4 in the morning, and it's like it's ugly, I'm just miserable. And I look to my right, and there's a moose running beside the truck. I'm just kind of looking at this moose. It's like, wow, look at this massive moose. And it's like right beside the truck. And my dad and Norman, they're just having this heat like laughter, eh? This moose was just like keeping up with us too. And I was like, finally, I was like, hey guys, look at this moose. And they're like, my dad just kicks the brakes and oh, the smokes, where's the guns? But we weren't ready and the moose got away, right? And I was like, thank God that moose got away. I just not in the process of like skinning a moose, that kind of weather. Like
Mm.
I was hoping we wouldn't kill a moose, tell you the truth. So anyway, so we get to our destination. It's this destination, up there. And so that, we see these moose tracks, so my dad, he drops off his buddy Norman. He's like, okay, Norman, you go in here, you heard the moose, me and my son will go park up here. So anyway, we keep going, and there's another set of moose tracks. My dad's like, another set of moose tracks. They went in the same bush here. And he's like, okay, you know what? You wait in a truck here, he said. Hey, yeah, you wait here. I'll go in a moose. I'll go and chase the moose. So there's like a moose in this bush. So if I go in this way, Norman goes this way, we should be able to push the moose towards you. And here's a third. Here's a third. It's like, I tell you, I was just like, okay, go ahead, Dad. Go ahead, chase the moose. So as soon as he left, he shut off the truck. It's -30. It's like as soon as he left, no man, I'm starting up this truck. I started up the truck, and turn up the heat, and I close my eyes. I'm not gonna hunt. I'm gonna pretend I'm hunting, but I'm not even gonna hunt. I close my eyes. I'm kind of warm up. I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes, half an hour. I open my eyes. I look around. It's like, okay, just when I'm going to close my eyes, I look in the rearview mirror. There's a massive bull moose walking towards me in the truck, and the truck is running. And I was like, what the heck is that? Like, that's a big bull moose. And I was like, oh my God, that like that, oh, skinning that thing, like in this weather, no, it's not going to happen. So I wait for this moose to go away, and it would walk towards me. And this bugger, it was walk like towards me, and it would stand sideways. Says, okay, good. It's gonna walk into the bush. Right on, Moose is staring at me, kind of like shoot me. I was like, okay, get out, And this moose would start walking towards me again. Every few steps, it would stop and go this way and look at me, shoot me. It's like, what the heck? And so I get out of the truck. Yeah, run, get us, get out of here. And this moose, normal moose, would run away. And you know what this moose did? It looked sideways, it looked at me. Big rat, shoot me. I was like, what in the heck is wrong with this moose? And so I started walking. I was like, maybe I'm meant to kill this moose, So I get in the truck, take out the 30-30, and I'm warning you, talking to this moose. Yeah, I'm gonna load this gun here, as I'm loading up, I'm loading it, cocked it, you better go, Man, I would say this whole interaction was about 5 minutes, a moose should have been gone like this, So it got maybe about, I would say, I don't know what yardage. I'm a golfer, so maybe about 30 yards away, and it just stands there. This time it's not moving. It's just standing there looking at me, and I'm like, aiming at it. Like, okay, I'm gonna kill you now. You better go. No, nothing. I guess I gotta kill this moose. So I aimed right, right where my dad would show me, right in the heart. So that's what I did. I shot it one shot, and this moose just fell right on the road. And so I backed up the truck. Eh? And so about 10 minutes later, I could see my dad and Norman at the front of the truck. They're walking towards me. And so my dad, he comes up to the window. He's like, "Hey, what? We heard a shot. Was that you?" I said, "Yeah, it was me." "Oh, what did you shoot?" "I shot a moose. Did you get it?" "No, I didn't get it. No, I got away, "Oh, geez, where did it go?" "I went running over there, Where in the, yeah, right in the back over there." So they both go walking and you can just hear, "Oh, that's smoke." So I can just hear all this. They come, "What the hell? There's a moose back here." "Yeah, I'm just kidding. I got it." It's like, "How did you get it?" Like right in the, was it running real fast and you just happened to hit it and it just happened to drop right there, like easy skinning, It's like, yeah, that's what happened. Just like, that's exactly. I saw this coming from a mile away, and I waited for it to cross the road. I didn't want it to, in the deep snow. I wanted to drop it right. I was just lying to them. They're like, "Holy smokes, this ever a perfect moose kill." Like the truck's right there. We'd have to haul it. Oh, it was my first moose kill. So I did all the protocols, and delivered a bunch of meat to people, and yeah, it was my first moose kill. So since then I've killed. I just try not to kill animals in general. I just but there's still there's a lot of people that need moose meat. So on a needs basis, I will go out and harvest a moose or an elk or a deer for people. But I generally, I try not to do it. So that's my story.
A great story. I love how the moose, I mean, you hear the stories about how, you pray for a good hunt and an animal will hear that and present itself, right? But this moose really, like, it found you.
Yeah, it's just like wouldn't go away. And it's like, this is not typical moose behavior. Like this is meant to be my first moose. So yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great story. Well, thank you for your time. I guess we're all out of time, so that was like perfect timing. But yeah, thank you. So Randy Morin, for being our guest. Kishi Marcy to our relative tonight, Randy Morin, and Niwa Gamaganak, all my relations. And believe me, we are all related. So act like you've got relations. This is Auntie Andy signing out from Homelands, originally produced on CFCR Community Radio 90.5 FM in Saskatoon, Homelands of the Métis and Treaty 6 Territory, CFCR.ca. You can follow us on Twitter at Métis Homelands, email métishomelands@gmail.com, and view this episode on our YouTube channel, Homelands. And of course, subscribe today and watch all the episodes. So Marcy, thank you for listening. And Akoshi, Kawapa Matina Wow Mina. That's all. We'll see you later.